How many times have we let ourselves down? We've had promises written down and yet we find ourselves not fulfilling them. We've procrastinated in our lives, and the truth is that every time we break a commitment to ourselves, we sort of lose the confidence of achieving that thing that we want to do. In today's video, we will be addressing 3 keys that are evidence-based and proved to help us break the bad cycle and stop letting ourselves down in 2025. Hello guys, welcome and welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Jeanette. Without further ado, let's just get right into the video. One of the keys that causes us to let ourselves down is the fear of failure. Fear of failure is when we are afraid of something because we believe that we are going to fail. For example, in those moments when we are about to do our exams, if you're a student, you realize that you are afraid to fail to the extent that you have anxiety and what you learned actually disappears, right? This is because of fear of failure. Some of the things that causes us to have this thing called fear of failure is our childhood traumas. For example, when you are younger, you had people always discriminating you. Anytime you try to do something, maybe your parents were too strict enough that they stopped you, that you didn't have a voice of your own. You realize when you grow up, you still have these things baggage in you, right? And also almost to be like your character. So you're always scared to do something new because you wonder, what will people think about me? What if I fail? One of the things that you need to understand in the fear of failure, we need to accept failure will always be a part of ourselves. Yeah, as long as we are human, we are always prone to failure. Amy Edmondson in her book states how important failure is in our lives. We can look at failure in our lives as a way that is to build us up. In fact, she states in her book that there are 3 kinds of failures. One of the failures is blameless failure. The second one is preventable, and the third one is intelligent. So what kind of failure do you see? And it's also a choice that you have to make. For example, when you fail on something, you could choose to learn from that failure and move on. Secondly, you could choose that this failure is something that has helped me. I'm not going to repeat it in the future. Therefore, it will prevent me to do something else that is similar to this, right? Thirdly, it could be something just blameless. You learn from it and you move on. So here's the thing, guys. Failure is part of us, and one of the things we need to do is accept that it's part of us as human beings. Every human, whenever they are, it doesn't matter how successful they might seem in the outside, there is this aspect of failure that will always be on our shoulder. So do not be afraid to fail. Secondly, one of the keys that we need to be on the lookout for is perfectionism. Perfectionism, as good as it may seem, it's not really that good. We realize that perfectionism can often seem as an excellent thing, but it truly is not something. In fact, research has shown that perfectionists usually set unreasonable and unrealistic goals that are very difficult to accomplish. All I'm saying is that we need to strive to be excellent and not to be perfect. As long as you're human, the moment we aim at a perfectionism, we realize that we will not truly accomplish what we are meant to accomplish. But when I was taking my test on the typing keyboard test, where your fingers have to go to specific areas of the keyboard and all that, sometimes I realized when my accuracy was at 100%, my speed level reduced. The moment I was very much focused on accuracy, I will always delete when I go off. I'll always delete and come back so that I make sure that my fingers are keying in what is needed. I realized that my speed will reduce. So too it applies to perfectionism in our lives, guys. Always focus on being excellent and not being a perfectionist. Let me give you one of the characteristics that show that you are a perfectionist. 1, if you have difficulty in delegating your work, shows that you are a perfectionist. For example, if you're a content creator, editing is one of the large part that takes a lot of our time, right? So when you find that you have a lot of work and all that lies on you, you don't want to delegate the work of editing to others, you will find it difficult to release as many videos as you want. The moment you delegate your work to others, it shows that you are onto excellence and not onto perfectionism. So when you have difficulty in delegating your things to other people, can be one of the signs that you're a perfectionist. Secondly, if you're always having this high expectation on others, so much higher that they never reach your standard. Anytime you tell someone to do something, nothing always reaches your standard. There has to be a question mark. It can show that you have an issue with perfectionism because you always want something to be your way and the way you want it, right? Even if there's a little bit of an error here, you find it difficult to understand why they did not attain that standard. Thirdly, if you're a perfectionist, you have excessively self-criticism where you're always criticizing yourself when you do something. You wonder, I don't think it's good enough, let me erase and try again. For example, if you're a writer and you're always wanting it to be perfect, you will never move forward if you always have this thing of self-criticism, and it shows that you're a perfectionist. These are the things that keep on letting us down year after year. We try to do something, but we want it to be perfect at one go. Just do and improve as you continue. And the first time you do it, it can be a little bit not as you wanted, but as you continue, little by little improve on your skills to attain where you want to be in excellence and truly not perfection. I give you an example. Maybe this year you've decided that you're gonna save a certain amount by the end of the year, right? But you're aiming at that accuracy so much, you realize that when you aim at your accuracy, maybe saving a certain amount every month, by the end of 12 months to achieve something, you might find it difficult and reduces your speed to achieve that. So give yourself grace, guys, as you continue. One thing you need to understand, that life is not even perfect after all. We are not perfect as human beings. So embrace that and just move with the flow. The other impact of perfectionism is that you will always have these emotional strains around you, guys. Everything is on your shoulder. You're worried what if this person does it wrongly when you delegate, when you're always looking at your work, criticizing yourself, wondering this thing is never good enough. These things are the things that are letting us down. Embrace life as you continue. I'm not saying that you just live aimlessly. All I'm saying is that enjoy the process as you continue. You don't need to be perfect. Perfectionism is not something that should be proud of. It's something that should be very cautious in our lives. Just slowly but surely improve and become that better version of yourself. The third impact of perfectionism is that it's gonna reduce our creativity and growth, guys. If you want to be a creative and you want to grow, sometimes it calls for being flexible, and this is something that is very difficult for perfectionists. So I'd like to encourage you guys, in areas that you feel that you are perfectionist, this year cut that out. In the areas where you feel that you're afraid to fail, guys, do not be afraid to fail. Failure is part of the journey, it's a process, and it's gonna be part of us. We need to embrace it. Failure can be something good after all. We will learn from it, right? But we fail today, tomorrow we will not fail because we've learned from our past mistakes. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And if you like this video, I'm pretty sure you're gonna love this video right here. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.